introductory letter here on the front. Just because I'm not going to read it to you doesn't mean you shouldn't read it at home. The most important things are probably the last two paragraphs. So the last two paragraphs of the letter, let's look at those on the front. It says, neglecting the summer assignment or not doing it to the best of your ability will have a significant impact on your grade and success in the course. We will use your essay, yes, there's an essay you got to write in the summer, and the text you have read as cornerstones of Unit 1. All, like highlight or circle or whatever, all summer assignments are due the first Friday of the school year. All summer assignments are due the first Friday of the school year, and no late work will be accepted. Okay? Okay? So, you already know your due dates from the front. Now let's look at the 4 things that have to be done. So on page 2, component 1 is picking one work from this reading list. It says choose one nonfiction text from the list below. Carefully decide because you must cite your book in your argument essay. So you're reading a long text that later on becomes part of your argument essay. So it has to give you some sort of direction, okay? Please bring, then I would highlight this. Please bring your book to class the first days of school. We will be using the text during Unit 1. So that means that you need to purchase this book. You check it out from the library. You have already read it and have it in class that first week. Okay? If it was me, I would go ahead and buy one. It's one. You pick one. You know, I'm looking at the back. Okay. So I would go ahead and buy mine just in case I wanted to write on it or highlight stuff or underline it. Checking it out is fine, but then you know you can't like annotate if you need to. Okay? Part 2, response journals. Please purchase a standard composition notebook. That's the little ones, right? Like they're usually kind of black and white. Sometimes they're like green and white now or pink and white. You don't know. Okay. And use it to record your journals, and you have to complete 6 journals. One for each of 6 meaningful passages that you select from that reading book you've chosen. So like if you choose I Am Malala, then you've got 6 different passages that you've written out. Okay? As a teacher, what do I think about you if all 6 passages come from the first half of the book?
You only read the first half of the book.
All right. So just a tip, maybe like 2 from the beginning, 2 from the middle, and 2 from the end. Shows the teacher that you've got a working knowledge of this whole book. Okay? Let's look at what those journals should be like. So it says, please follow the format below. Number 1, write out the entire passage to which you will refer and include the page number from which it came. Number 2, paraphrase or summarize the passage in your own words and provide the context from which it came. In other words, what is happening before and after this thing in the text. Number 3, analyze and react to the text in full sentences, not notes, not listing. Why is it important? What other ideas does it relate to? What do you notice about the author's choices in regard to diction, syntax or sentence structure, figurative language, etc.? Now, this is a part you might want to underline or highlight. It's driving me crazy on that, like whatever it is. Your analysis should be longer than the selected quotation or passage. The analysis should be longer than the selected quotation or passage. So if you write out 4 sentences, that doesn't mean you only have 4 sentences of analysis. She's trying to get you to think deeper. That's the second thing you do. Third assignment is coming up with your own current events journals, and these kind of need to be related to education. I know this because the essay on the back talks about education. So it says, please complete your current event journals in the same standard composition notebook as for your book responses. You need 4 current events journals, and please set them up as follows. A complete MLA citation of the source, and it has to be a source besides television or radio. Okay, so it can be from like CNN.com, it can be from like NPR.org or whatever. Ask.com, no. Wikipedia, no. Okay, a credible news source. Summarize the event in your own words and then respond to the event. Why is it important, etc. And your response should be 1 to 2 paragraphs. There should be 4 of those.
So, it's obviously not going to be current in the beginning, but since the education thing, could we talk about these being Wait, so this doesn't have to go like checkbook or anything like that?
So let's start in the back, okay? Because this is where it starts to make sense.
She's about the current events.
I know. It starts to make sense in the back. Okay? So Part 4, argument essay. Consider your readings, both the nonfiction text and the current events. Define a problem in education. That's why I'm thinking that what she means about current events is current events in education. Because if you pick something that NASA's doing, like with the global space station as your current event, and then you have to write an essay on a problem in education, that current event you got is not going to help you very much. So look for your sources to have something to do with education, whether it be testing or private schools versus public schools or funding or whatever, okay? Define a problem in education and assert a position on this problem. Your argument can involve elementary, high school, or college level education, and your essay must meet the following characteristics. So it has to be typed in MLA format. You need to have a works cited page. You don't have to include any additional research besides the long book you've read and the 4 sources, something to do with education, that you've looked up from credible sites. Okay? It gives you just all the basics about how to do an argument, including a counterclaim and a rebuttal, so look over those. And then, hey, you're running with the big dogs, junior and senior year, so she's giving you a note here about plagiarism. Please don't do that again. Know what I'm saying? Not all of you did it, but some of you did. That's not playtime anymore once you're an upperclassman, right? Especially as you're going into junior and senior level advanced courses. Plagiarism is academic dishonesty, and it tarnishes your name. It's something for which you can be ejected from the program. Okay? And you can be ejected from college or something like that too. Academic dishonesty, they just don't play. They're like, oh, you cheated. Not. Okay? So, just a note on that, that as you're doing this essay, when in doubt, put quotes and cite your source in parentheses. Okay? Even if you paraphrase the source, but it was something you didn't already know, probably a good idea to quote it. Okay? I know there's stuff on the back about what you can prepare for the class, like what to buy and come with. All right? If you've got questions, Ms. Hankins' room number and email is at the top of this page. I really don't know much more than I have said. Are we good? Thank you.